and by a guy named Blake Shelton. And it's funny, which let me tell you this, it's an amazing thing. A lot of people, my uncle called me a couple of weeks ago, and he's from Mississippi. I'm like, hey man, what's up? He's like, how you? I heard that song of yours. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, but it weren't you singing it. I was like, no, it's not me. And he was like, did he steal that from you? I said, no. They called and asked for permission. It was totally great. I was really excited to let him record it. And he was like, oh, okay. Because I was going to get it back for you. I was like, well, that's terrifying. I don't know what that means. I don't know how you do that. Run through the options in my head, none of them make sense. I got a call from my label about 1.5 years ago, and the lady that I work with there said, listen, I got some good news. There's a TV show that wants to use God Gave Me You on the show. And so I've been waiting for that a long time. Got a lot emotional, and a couple thousand tears. And I said, well, that's amazing. You know, I was trying to gather myself, and she said, I said, well, what show? And she said, well, it's a show called All My Children. And then some more tears for a different reason. And she said, but there's more. And I said, well, what could there possibly be more? And she said, they want you to be on the show. And I was like, oh my gosh, then more tears for the first reason. It's a cycle of tears. And so I fly out to LA, and I'm so excited. Land, drive out to the studio lot where they shoot the show. And as I drive up, as I get there, I'm feeling so cool because the security guard walks over and he's like, you must be Mr. Barnes. And I was like, I am so famous. And, but me and this weird sort of like thing, I felt like I needed to know his name because he knew mine, which I don't know why I thought this. I could hear my mother going, you need to know his name. You need to know his name. Baby, listen. When someone knows your name, it's only polite to know theirs. Oh boy. And so he says, you must be Mr. Barnes, and I'm like, well, you must be, and realize I don't know his name, so I'm trying to catch a glimpse of his name tag as much as I can. I'm like leaning and awkwardly like, so I finally see it, and I'm like, so you must be Ronathan? He's like, that's right. I was like, congratulations. I pulled in, and then I was thinking like, what happened there? Like, where his parents like, listen, let's just have one kid, but we have a lot of names we want to use. Just pack them in. And then I thought, man, what happened if they accidentally had their second kid? And they're like, well, we still have enough names. Janthony. So I walk inside the studio. I'm so excited to be there. Guy meets me at the front. He's like, hey man, let's go get your work like fitted. So I tried on all these outfits, whatever, and they picked the one they like. And then I'm going back to my dressing room. He's like, man, you cool? You have everything you need? I said, yeah, I'm great. He said, well, do you know your lines for the show? And I was like, what was that? He's like, do you know your lines? You're going to be speaking on the show. I was like, well, this is new information to me. And then I'm like, this is it. This is the chance that I was born for. This is the moment. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, I can debut my British accent finally. I've been working for some time now. It's more Robin Leach. But anyway, I'm so excited. And he's like, I said, well, hold on before you leave. Who will I be playing? And he said, no, that's a good question. You'll be playing yourself. And I said, which I feel like anybody would have asked, well, who am I? And at that point, he just walked off. He didn't answer that question, or the other questions I asked, and yelled as he ran down the hall. So I get out to the set. I'm so excited. I've learned the lines, and I get out there, and the director comes over and gives me a big he gives me a hair hug, which is different than a bear hug. Can we please call a hair hug when two dudes hug without their shirts on? That's awesome. Bro, let's get a hair hug, man. Hashtag hair hug. That is strong. That is strong, quite strong. Okay, moving on. So we get a good hair hug in. And he says, man, we're so glad you're here. I was like, dude, no problem. I was going to be doing a lot of other stuff. So mowing the lawn, but whatever, I'm here. So he said, do we know what you're doing? You know, you have any clue? I said, yeah, kind of. He said, well, let me kind of explain. He said, first thing is you'll be out kind of milling about. And I stopped him. I said, whoa. Will I be making grain and or bread, if that's the truth? And he said, no. I said, because listen, if I'm playing a Quaker and milling about, I'm not a Quaker in real life, but I can play one. I just need time to get there. He didn't answer that question either. Pattern here. And he says, no. You'll just be talking to people. And I said, well, touche. He said, that's not how you use that. And I said, touche. And he said, that's actually closer. And so, he says, this is what you'll be doing, Dave. The couple that is renewing their vows, they're big fans of yours. What he didn't add was on the show, because we had a couple of awkward conversations later with them. I was like, hey, I heard you're big fans. They're like, of what? I was like, yep. So they're big fans of the show, he doesn't tell me, I figure out quickly. And she walks down the steps, the scene begins, she sees me, she says, whoa. That guy looks just like Dave Barnes. Now that's my cue to turn around, I look at them, her husband says, well, that's because it is. I flew him in because he's our biggest, favorite artist. And I was like, wish that was really true. And so, but at that point I walk over to him and he says, just walk over, that'll be your cue, just walk over that little line I had to walk to. And he's like, you know, just say something. I was like, what do I say? He's like, no, don't really say anything. And I said, oh, well, I'll shake their hand. He said, no, don't touch him. And I was like, this feels like my childhood again. So, and all the dances. So I then look at him, walk upstairs, play the song, and it's over. But this is what I didn't know what to do. So he yells action. I still don't know what. I mean, I'm like I walk over there 2 feet away, and I'm supposed to do something. So in my nervousness, I don't know what to do. Action. They see me. I turn. I see them. I walk over, and now I don't know what to do. So true story. I start going. They're 2 feet away. I start going. Now, as I'm shooting, I hear, cut! And I'm like... He walks over and he's like, hey, why are you shooting him? I was like, I'm nervous shooting, I guess. He's like, let's put him in the holsters. So he said, we don't want to shoot them, they're your friends. I was like, they're your friends. So the next time we did it, right after that, I didn't know what to do again, so this is honestly what I did. He's like, action, I walk over and I'm like... Karate Kid bow. Walked up the steps, started playing the song, I felt great about it, nailed it, got done. He runs over, I'm like, he's about to give me this big hair hug. And instead he yells, cut, we gotta do it again. I was like, what's wrong? He said, quote unquote, hand on the Bible, is what he said, you're not playing the guitar right. And I was like, well, one, I don't even know what that means. Like, was I like, let's do it. So he just takes the guitar, and now I have to do a shoot, which I never ever sing without this, even at friends' birthday parties. They're like, Dave, you sing for a living, sing Happy Birthday. And I'm like, oh, do you have like a mandolin or a little ukulele or even an iPad or iPhone app I can just strum? Because I never do it. So now I'm holding a mic, Whitney Houston style, about to rock it, and I don't know what to do with my hands. I literally don't know where to. So I'm holding, and before I know it, I'm like doing the elements. You know, I'm like, God gave me you for the ups and downs. Fire, wind, water, big bird. So if you get on YouTube and Google Dave Barnes on my children, you'll see it. And it got down to so bad that he was like, this is what I want you to do. I was like, thank you. He's like, hold it. Every 3 seconds, just switch hands and barely move. So if you see him, I'm like... It's like a baton I keep passing myself. But thanks so much for hanging tonight, guys.